Hi friends, I'm Jay Bansod and today you are watching my channel Jay the Petrolhead. So our question today is, why does a muscle car engine sounds different than a European car even though the number of cylinders is same? So the engine sounds are related to a process known as attenuation, which I am going to cover in my future videos, but for the simplicity and sake of this video, just focus on the topic here. So here, assume this as a muscle car V8, and you can see there are 8 engines, and these are the exhaust manifolds, and these lead lines are the exhaust pulses, and I have written the number of these exhaust pulses in the sequence according to the firing order of the engines. And here there is the same thing, but it is a European car V8 engine. So assume these two engines. So here in a muscle car V8, there is usually a cross-plane crankshaft, which I am going to cover in my future videos. And in a cross-plane crankshaft, the cylinders fire every 90 degrees on the same bank, and the firing order of most of the classic muscle car engines like of the AMC Javelin, Mustang of the 70s, and also of the Charger, the Challenger, and many more is having to fire these two cylinders, at least two cylinders, on the same bank in the sequence of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But there would be two cylinders which fire in a sequence of after each other and having on a common bank. And so here you can see that this is the first cylinder, and as it got fires it completes its all the three strokes, and as the exhaust stroke begins, the exhaust gas releases into the exhaust manifold. And here assume that this is the second cylinder, and as it completes all these three strokes, and as the exhaust stroke begins and the exhaust gas starts to release in the exhaust manifold, and so consider this as the second exhaust pulse. Here I have wrote the numbers. And so in the exhaust manifold, after here at the points like here, these two exhaust pulses meet before going to into the collector of the exhaust system, and as they meet they create a resonance sound. The sound as they meet to each other, and in a way it creates a force of tension between those two sounds, and so we heard the aggressive sound of the muscle car in a muscle car V8. So this is the reason of the exhaust pulses. Now in a European car V8 like of the Ferrari V8s, which are recently used upon in many Ferraris, here consider these two as exhaust manifolds. These are 8 cylinders, and consider this as the cylinder 1. As it completes all is 3 of its strokes, and the last stroke, that is exhaust, begins, the exhaust gas starts to release into this manifold, and this is the first exhaust pulse. Then consider this as the second cylinder, and this as the second exhaust pulse. Here they both of the exhaust pulses does not meet to each other, and they gets into the separate collectors or in one collectors according to the design, and they don't create a force of tension between those two, and that's why we don't heard the aggressive sound of a muscle car V8 in a European V8 like those manufactured by Ferrari, Lamborghini. They have a very different sound and a different firing order, and usually these engines use a flat plane crankshaft. This is the reason they can accommodate such a firing order, and that's why we don't heard such aggressive sounds from European cars. Even modern muscle cars like the Shelby GT500 use flat plane crankshaft, and they have a firing order like this, and that's why they don't produce aggressive sounds just like its forefathers. And so in this way these are the two different aspects of engineering of the manufacturing of engines. And I am going to cover attenuation, how the frequencies varied, the amplitudes of engine sounds, and going to explain the engine sound of each engine layout in my future videos. So stay tuned, subscribe my channel. If you like my video, hit the like button, and if you have any questions, please ask them in comments. I am ready to answer them. Thank you.